Today, before I start my topic, I wanted to thank the people who are serving us in spite of the corona. When you go on road to just peep out to see what is happening, it is so deserted, but you still see the police people working there, helping us not to come out of the house. Today, I was able to peep through my house window and see there was a policeman who was offering food for the people who need it. There, I still see corporation workers coming every day to pick up the garbage and go in spite of the corona fear. A great salute to the people who are serving us, though we are sitting at home comfortably in an AC room, watching TV and looking into Facebook. So, with my thanks to them, today I want to talk about what type of marriage is really essential. My dear friends, I want to ask you a question. What type is your marriage, or what type do you want your marriage to be? Now, I can see puzzled faces asking me, are there types of marriage except love marriage, arranged marriage, or love come arranged marriage? Fine. That's on the other hand. When I'm talking of type of marriage, I want you to make some visualization. Imagine the alphabet, the capital alphabet A. That is a type of marriage where people lose their self-identity and they lean over each other and they consider them as a unit. It is very difficult for one person to leave, because when they leave, they consider to be manipulators, whereas these people who are totally dependent on them looks like they made sacrifices. So A is called a dependent marriage. You lose your self-identity, everything is on together. Yesterday you remember I spoke on the space together, or the V space. This is something relating to that. When you fall under the capital A frame of marriage, it is called as a dependent marriage. Fine. The next one is a H frame. There is no self, the unit of the marriage is not so complicated or no claustrophobic, whereas there is more of self-identity. The other person does not get influenced, or there is nothing much to share between them. So if one person leaves the marriage by default or some calamity, the other person does not get affected. Probably the children in the marriage might get affected because they were only the connecting point in the marriage. The parents have nothing in common except talking about the child's future or the expenses or taking the child to this class, whatever. The communication between these couple who fall under the H frame, who are called as independent type of marriages, have nothing in common to discuss except about the child. That is not really good. Coming to the third frame of marriage, which is capital M, it is so wonderful that marriage and the best frame of marriage, M frame, go hand in hand. They're so interdependent. That was a dependent marriage, then comes independent marriage, but this is an interdependent marriage where you are still alone, you have your identity, at the same time the relationship has the best of it. The unit of the relationship is enjoyed to the best of it. Each one derives strength from the other, at the same time contributes strength to the other. The A frame was very parasitic. If you know, there were literally one person, as I said, is the martyr, and the other person is the manipulator, who is always taking away everything from the other person, not knowingly, of course. Then the H frame, there was nothing to contribute in the marriage. But in an interdependent marriage, there is so much of contribution. There is so much of liking towards the other person. Being together becomes the best moment, because there are times when the self-identity or the individual is allowed to grow with what their best abilities are. So now you ask yourself, which type of marriage are you in? Then learn to come to the interdependent relationship where you get benefited by being in the relationship and you benefit the other person being in the relationship. Now comes the next question. Yesterday, if you remember, I was talking about the unit of marriage. The primary unit of marriage, as I told you like yesterday, it is you, your spouse and your child. Imagine it is a very small circle where you three are standing. It will be comfortable for the three of you to be placed there. Sometimes somebody says, can I come and stand there for some time? Probably by need you called somebody like your parent to come and stand there. Fine. For some time it is okay. But if they continue to be there, one person in the first unit, that is you, your spouse or your child, is definitely thrown out because of lack of space. So remember, the primary unit will constitute only the spouse and the child. The second unit, the second concentric circle, could be the parent of both the spouses. The third concentric circle could be the siblings. The fourth could be the relatives or the friends, and fifth could be the relative. However, whether you place your relatives or friends, you must understand your family needs to take the primary center point is your family, then comes your parents. If you start calling your parent for every problem, the other person in the relationship is also going to call his or her parent. Therefore, you both are thrown out of your family unit. So you must have a boundary which is permissive, where you can permit your parents as in when you require or they require you, but you cannot have a boundary which is open, that somebody comes in and rules over your relationship. So understand your boundary and have a healthy marriage. Let it be an interdependent marriage so that you give in the primary need called love. Every marriage is to be permanent is what we assume. But the permanence is only happening when you give primary importance to the marriage in your relationship to make it wonderful and beautiful for you to be in it. Thank you.